All right, party people, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. What it do, party people? As you can tell in the background, I'm with Mr. Ray McGuire. This is your host, Joel Sylvain, with Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how to make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. My partner in crime, Mr. Kevin Carr, Mr. Career Crossover, is currently in Georgia doing his diversity training and getting things in order for the folks at the University of Georgia. But as we get things in order, this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so this show is going to be dedicated towards that. Well, we had some scheduling challenges, so we're just going to keep the show going. Therefore, our guest that we have for today is going to be next week, which is going to be a treat. So I can't wait for you guys to experience the story of our guests and how they use mental health and balance to overcome some informative challenges. With that being said, let's talk about what's going on in the world of music, in the music business. I always like to talk about that. This past Wednesday, my girl Shanti Das hosted her inaugural Brilliant Mind Gala, where she is looking to get at least $500,000. Really, the goal is for 1 million, um, but $500,000 to to provide some programming in regards to mental health advocacy, um, in which whether it's communities, whether it's individuals, she has a plan in which if we can get some form of a long-term mental health plan to ensure that when people have trouble, that they just don't have a short-term need that's being addressed, that is make sure that it's consistent and that they have support. And the reason why mental health is so important is at the end of the day, if you're not right mentally, w- how can you really function? And how can you be of service to anybody else? So today we're going to go through a little bit of an exercise rooted in a little bit about our African natural history that I did some research from Dr. Wade Nobles in conjunction with what we have here in Western medicine, and how we can leverage our resources, and how you, whether you're an individual that works for a Fortune 500 company or any company, to really leverage the benefits that you have available for you at your job. Or if you are an entrepreneur and you have the weight on your shoulders because you got to take care of payroll, the families of your employees that you need to make sure you manage. You also have your own personal family and your own challenges that you need to manage. It is important that when you start your day, you learn to breathe. Yes, breathe, take deep breaths. And as you take those deep breaths, understand that you're placing the deposit into you first. You have to take care of you first before you can pour into others. And so I'm going to share with you some guidelines, some techniques. But before we jump into that, let's talk about what's going on in the world of the music business. So, my buddy, Mr. Steve Stout, had his former president of United Masters, Lauren Wertzer Seawood, who formerly was an executive at Def Jam, has now signed up to be the SoundCloud's chief content and marketing officer. So congratulations to Lauren on on getting that squared away. In addition to that, We talked about last week Jay Z's finalizing the sale to Title to Mark Dorsey and Twitter. Also, let's touch base on the fact that Clubhouse has launched on Android, so it's on and popping. So all our Android folks do not have to feel like they are excluded anymore. Most recently, Rochelle Parham is now president of global e-commerce and business development at the Universal Music Group. Now, that's very important for you to understand that because these record labels are now understanding the power of their platform, of their internet, and now they're going to learn to be able to translate into commerce doing business. So the e-commerce hire with Rochelle, congratulations in regards to that. It's huge. Um, Recently there's an interview with Jimmy Iovine in regards to, his thoughts on what's going on in the music business. And I got to tell you, it is not just only the music business. It's also anyone who is creative, whether you are a poet, whether you are a graphic designer, an artist. uh, Now is your time to shine. Now is your time to come up with a business plan because we are now in the age of the new renaissance. We've been cooped up for a past year, uh, where we've been in lockdown. You're sheltering in place, and now we are able to come outside soon. And now is the time to really take advantage of what you've been working on. Hopefully, you have been working on something to so that you can expand and grow your revenue. Also, let's see here on the side of the business of sports. Let's talk a little bit about MLB as is getting ready to do their draft. You also have the Yankees are in second place behind the Boston Red Sox. Boo, but it's all good. We like to start slow with our Yankees, and then we come back in October, do our thing. Um, in terms of basketball, the playoffs will be starting next week, so this is going to be some exciting times. Um, this is going to be the time for the Nets to really shine and do their thing, and by that time, James Harden's going to be back. Congratulations to Mr. Westbrook for getting that triple double. Woo woo! Surpassing Oscar Robinson and now holding the record. That's pretty amazing for Mr. Westbrook. Hopefully, he can definitely get on a team in which he can win a championship because he has all the accolades. He got the MVP. He's got this record for the triple double. Now it's time for him to get a chip. Also, it looks like the Lakers are in trouble. They got to do the play-in for the playoffs. So this is an uncomfortable uh, arena for Mr. LeBron James to go through. So that should be interesting. And speaking of LeBron James, most recently, one of the clients for Mr. Kevin Carr, Pro, the CEO, Mr. Michael Red, has his own podcast called Bet on Yourself. Go check it out because he just interviewed LeBron James' partner, Maverick Carter, talking about, what was his strategy to build his success and to be able to do what he's doing. Also, let's see here. Got some notes. All right. Yeah. And then I want to give a big shout out to I just got the book. The author is Anna Malika Tubbs. That's right, Anna Malika Tubbs. You got to get this book. It's called The Three Mothers. And the three mothers are the mothers of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., and Mr. James Baldwin. And I'm just now, beginning to read the book. It is a phenomenal book. Great book for Mother's Day, Buy it for your wife, buy it for your niece, buy it for uh, your daughter that's a mother, grandmother, mother, aunts, you name it, get it for them because it talks about how these women actually were the architects behind shaping the minds of these great men and these great leaders. And a lot of times, we do forget to acknowledge the women and their part, the mothers and their part in shaping our future leaders and what the new culture is going to be like. So please pick up the book. The author is Anna Malika Tubbs. The name of the book is called Three Mothers. Hold on, let me go grab it. There it is, The Three Mothers: How the Mothers of Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, and James Baldwin Shaped the Nation. Awesome book. Awesome book. Let's see. Don't have anything else on the chat. And can you believe it? Tim Tebow is about to get picked up by the Jaguars. Lord have mercy. I don't know how he's going to be able to do anything there, but that should be rather interesting in regards to that. Let's see. Oh, got to give a big shout out to my man Al Lyrical, who just came up with his song Ride or Die. The song is off the chain. It's doing its thing. As a matter of fact, it just got on rotation with DJ Enough on Hot 97. So let's give him a big shout out to Big Al Lyrical in the place to be. And the name of the song is called Ride or Die. Also, we want to give a big shout out to my man Dan Pearson and his artist Brandon Torrey. And Brandon Torrey just came out with his single and it's on YouTube. Hold on, I'm going to get it for you. And just to give you some insight about Brandon Torrey is an AI architect. He was signed to Timbaland. He's a rapper, songwriter, record producer, software engineer, and entrepreneur. And his most recent single that he has out and it's on YouTube, go check it out. Let's see if I can get it. Oops, oops, oops. Brandon Torrey. Streets of Gold. The Streets of Gold just came out, the official audio. Go check it out on YouTube. Brandon Torrey, one word, YouTube, Streets of Gold. Fire, straight fire. And on that note, we get ready to go on break. And we'll see you after the break where we're going to go through the exercise on how to really get your mind right, get your money right, so we can get that right mindset. See you after the break. This is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you after the break, baby, baby.
What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Madam CJ, and I want you to listen to Trap Talk Radio at 8 p.m. every Thursday right here on In Touch News, www.intouchnews.com.
Woo! We back, baby. We back. This is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. I want to give you a quick hashtag. Hashtag Zola up on us. What does that mean? Again, hashtag Zola up on us. Well, listen, there's a place in Africa in which Dr. Wade Nobles, check him out, Dr. Wade Nobles in Mali, West Central Africa, where the meaning of Zola means love. That's right. It's all about the love, baby. All about the love. So when you Zola up on us, that means that our ancestors knew and understood that love is an energy power that can and does activate our self-healing power, which is called Golo. So, what does that mean? The most important thing when it comes down to having mental strength, providing yourself with mental health, is understanding how much do you love yourself. And when you know that you can love yourself, then nothing can really harm you. All it can do is affect how you approaching things in life, but it won't ever harm you, right? So therefore, having that love mindset of loving yourself first, and then understanding how that energy that you create and you can share it with others, it's what's going to make you that much stronger, because that energy needs a place to bounce off of. That's why it's so important to, of course, it's nice to have a partner, right? It's nice to have a spouse. It's nice to have a great relationship with your children, because, like, once again, that energy is what fuels the love and what fuels the the vitality that is amongst everybody. So our African ancestors knew that. And so that's what allows us to be fearless. That's what allows us to open up creatively, right? And it's through that love that you can remain focused on the task that you're looking to accomplish. Because when you know you have love of yourself and others love you, now there's nothing that can really stop you. So when we think about it, that's why we're talking about hashtag Zola up on us. The more you show love to your family, to your children, to your spouse, and you keep building on that energy, not only are you saving yourself personally, but now you're saving your entire family. And when you save your entire family, you can save the community. And as you save the community, you're saving the neighborhood. And as you save the neighborhood, you can save the state and then the country. You feel what I'm saying? So going back to what is this Zola hashtag Zola up on us? These are the things that we are going through in regards to the negative impacts of this whole pandemic, or plandemic, as some people call it, right? So the certain behaviors are being impatient, being angry, easily angered, having fear, right, of what's going to happen next, being agitated, the disbelief, feeling confused, or even unforgiving. And unforgiving is horrible, because imagine you're in a space and you're with someone that you feel like you can't be yourself because you're unforgiving because they might have harmed you and you don't know how to release that negativity and that anger. So it's important to address these 7 behaviors and knowing how to deal with that, right? And so it goes back to us understanding that the only way things are going to change is not by trying to force the other person to change. The only way things are going to change is when you decide that you're going to change how you view things and how you're going to manage your situation. I'm going to repeat that again. The only way things are going to change is not by you trying to change somebody else. It's how you handle, how you see things, and how you're going to move forward and moving through that. So, what does that take to do that? Well, what it takes is another form of love is called mercy. Another form of love is called grace. See, when you learn how to be merciful and being able to provide grace, then you're like moving like Iceman. You just smooth with it. You're just sliding. And then you understand that the most important thing that you can always do is still be your true self, but understand that you know what? You have the power. You have the power to forgive through mercy and grace. And then through that, that does not mean that you're not going to have, true conversations, but those true conversations have to be non-judgmental. I'm going to repeat that again. There's nothing wrong with having authentic and authoritative conversations, but make sure that they're non-judgmental so that the opposite person doesn't feel like you are abandoning them or you're hating them, right? Because then you once again are in control of how you feel and how you perceive things, and how you see things gets broadcasted. And if you do it in a manner of showing love, then at the end of the day, even if the news is negative, the person can receive it and digest it, but understand that it's coming from a place of mercy and grace. So let's kind of talk about a little bit about the exercises, or kind of like the core principles that we should always remember as a 5-star family enhancement plan. So I'm going to repeat it again. There's a 5-star family enhancement plan. One, we need to remember. Remember what? We got to remember who we are and whose we are, as Dr. Nobles would say. Remember who we are and whose we are. What do you mean by that? Well, at the end of the day, we are humanity. When you look at the history books and they look at, the first humans, they didn't find no fossils in America. They didn't find any ancient fossils in Europe. All they found, all the fossils were found in Africa, South Africa. So it goes to show you that at the end of the day, we are the original people. So as we are the original people, we got to tap into that DNA so that we can remember who we are. And once we know how magnificent we are and how we know how to evolve and how we know how to adapt, then that's why it makes it easier for you to have mercy and grace, right? Also, we got to remind ourselves, right? So we got to remind ourselves about the terror our people have endured. And of course, it angers us. And of course, we really don't want to talk about it. And of course, you know, racism is the underbelly of Western society. Yet, even though that's the case, we still need to focus on the love. If you ever notice when you watch the older movies that talks about slavery, especially Roots, or if you ever have the opportunity to speak to any of the elders who were around during slavery, how we were so united and we constantly loved each other. And that's the reason why the music that we created with the heartbeats, with the beat and the drums is what allows us to tap into the authentic love. That's where blues came from. So when we think about artists like Billie Holiday and Pearl Bailey and all the Blue Bland and BB King, you have to understand something. They're about 1 to 2 generations from slavery, and because of that, they're going into the deep well to show how much that our love was betrayed by these white supremacists. But at the same time, we knew how to stick to each other. So just be reminded of that. But then through that reminder, we need to know the third component, which is the reframe. So, reframe is all about ways to redefine various survival strategies to bring safety and protection. So, although we were staying in place, now things are opening up again. Be aware of what's going on because at this present moment, it seems like hunting season for Black young males. However, we don't want to think along those lines and we don't want to operate in any form of fear because fear deteriorates love. We want to operate from a position of strength. So the only way you do that is you reframe it. So instead of us saying this is hunting season on our Black young men and women, we need to say it's time for us to come together and build our own communities. It's time for us to come together and ensure that we have each other's back. So that's what we mean by reframe, just kind of creating new directives and abolishing the fear, abolishing the selfishness, abolishing the individualism. Because if we're going about it in an individualistic perspective, then it's easy for people to take us out. But as we come together, as like I said earlier, you come together as a family. You come together, even if, that's a baby mama, the baby daddy, it doesn't matter. Mother's Day is Mother's Day. If she's the mother of your child, take care of her and take care of the kid. Because you know what? All we have is us. We got to reframe it. She might be all up in your ear or whatever case may be. Listen, mercy, grace, remember, remind, and now reframe it. Let her know, hey, you know what? I'm not your enemy. We are in this together, and people coming after us. Therefore, we're going to reframe this and we're going to unify. And as we unify, then it's really hard to change things up. So on that note, I got several more, but we know what? We got to go on break because we got to pay some bills. Once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you after the break.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here for you.
Woo, that was a quick break. So, this is Power Moves. This is your host, Joel Sylvain with Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. Yeah, we back, baby. We back. So now the fourth step is to revitalize. So what is vital? What is absolutely necessary for life? You know what's absolutely necessary? First, like I told you before you start your day, find a quiet place. Find a quiet place where you can think about your ancestors. Think about your family repository. Start building a library of 20 books so your black children should read and every black parent should read. That's why I share with you the three mothers. Also, take the time not to take what these people are giving you. Listen, I'm a brother that grew up on 25 cents Bonton chips and 25 cents quarter waters. But now I'm a grown up and I know the importance of having antiviral ingredients because this vaccine does not mean that you're um, fully protected from the virus. So you need antiviral ingredients such as cayenne, garlic, oregano, passion flower, turmeric, honey, euthanasia, chamomile, have lots of fruits, green vegetables. Get in. Even if you're going to do the swan thing. Hey, listen, I love me some ribs, two dogs. But you know what? Try to get those greens in, and eat what's necessary. Learn to not eat as much, right? And then focus on appreciating and loving the food that you ingest. Appreciate and love the family that you're with. Make sure you're pouring into people and you're saying, I love you. That simple. I love you. Because once again, when there's love, and especially even as you're ingesting the food, let it know because it's a living organism. If you're eating true nutritious food, it's living organism. It might look crazy, it might be bananas, but guess what? It's all about the wellness. So as you're eating, let your body know that you know what you love what you're getting ready to eat, and you love your body, and you're investing in making sure that you're providing it what it needs, the additional strength to protect itself. Because think of it this way: think of yourself as the CEO of your body. If you're the CEO of your body, you want a good return on that investment. Therefore, make sure you take care of it and make sure you tell your body you love them. And as you do that, you're able to love others. And then the last R is reward. So rewarding is just giving thanks. And there's so many different ways to give thanks. If you grow up in a black church, we do the praise report, baby. And we holla, we dance in the pews. So focus on the music, but focus on music that's lifting your soul, that's making you feel good. Pay attention to words that evoke love. Pay attention to songs that's talking about community and support and romance. You know, if you're a mother, dance with your son. If you're a dad, dance with your daughter. Play the old school music, introduce new traditions. Because as we are getting stressed out, and as we are like, once again, we're getting ready to go outside, don't forget what we've been through and make sure you stay together. Because At the end of the day, I'm not better by myself. I'm better because of you. Understand that. I'm not better by myself. I'm better because of you. And if you all you have is yourself, then it's time for you to just take a deep breath, understand the importance of loving yourself because that energy is infectious. Like you start attracting all types of beautiful people around you because you start having that glow. So, and when you start having that glow because have invested in loving yourself, eating nutritious food, exercising, walking in the sun, getting that vitamin D, man, then all of a sudden people are like, man, something different about you. And that's why you all on the Zola up. So if you want more information on this, look up Baba Dr. Wade W. Nobles, where you can get more information on this. Get creative because through this, you're going to be a master of your own thoughts. You're going to be the master of your behavior and actions. You'll be devoted to a higher purpose. You'll have the faith and the ability of the teacher to teach the truth. You'll also have the faith that one can know and recognize the truth. You'll have the faith that one can use the truth. You'll have the freedom from resentment when punished. You'll have the freedom from resentment when wrong. You'll have the ability to tell right from wrong. And lastly, have the ability to tell the difference between the real and the unreal. So this is going to be a nice little short episode of Power Moves. I'm going to relax. Like I said, go to Dr. Wade Nobles for more information on how you can get these tips. And I am going to see if I can actually find, as a matter of fact, if you want an email address of his partner, Dr. Lawford Goddard, the email is lawfordg@gmail.com. And like I said to you before you start your day, take deep breaths. Understand to love yourself. You are a miracle. You are the one that made the egg split. So if you're the one that made the egg split, guess what? You the bomb.com. Because there's many of them that didn't make the egg split. So you do have a purpose here. The thing is, are you taking the time out for yourself to recognize who you are, whose we are, and what is your purpose? The only time you can do that is being in a quiet place, loving yourself. And as you love yourself, now you can pour that love to others. And then that energy becomes infectious. And that's how you're able to make power moves because through that, your mentality is going to be strong. And that's how you're going to be able to attract that money that you're looking for. Then, because you know how to tap into that power, you'll be able to get the things that you want when you want it and how you want it. It may not happen instantaneously, but it will happen because you will have that will power. That's why I said it will happen because you have that will power. And then the third piece is that respect. As I said before, as you build yourself up, you'll have that glow, and people will have no other choice but to respect you. And that's the reason why we do this show, Power Moves, every single week, because we want to share the stories of all these different people that overcome different challenges or were focused on doing what they had to do and they tapped into your power, made that money, and earned that respect. Another great episode of Power Moves. Thank you very much for your time. Once again, this is Joel Sylvain, your host and executive producer of Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, Key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. We out, baby, baby.